problem, so my problem. No nonsense, if they make sense, what they make sense, in real sense.
So, it's been exactly a year since Ebony died. And I don't think any of us are quite over her death. Her death, hit me especially hard because I remember just being so much in awe of her. Like, I was like, she was dark, her skin was just so beautiful, she had her dreads, I was like, now that is a girl living her life without apology. That is a girl just appreciating every minute and moment of her life. And I was just so much in love with her. Now, Ebony and I had a very strange, I don't even say relationship, because we never, so my brother came down. I lost my grandmother, and he came down. I was playing her music. Everybody who would come to Ghana, I'm like, listen, this girl is the new thing. You have to hear her music, And he was like, wow, like she has such scandalous words. And he was like, absolutely love her. And so around that period, I'd had so many people come into Ghana, and everybody that would come, they'd be like, yo, Lydia Forson put me on Ebony. And I was, if you listen to me in radio interviews, I was always defending. And I remember I did an interview where they asked me, is she a bad influence to young ladies? And I remember just going off on the presenter. I'm like, she's an artist, and she expresses herself the way she wants to. No artist goes out there saying, I am going to be your child's, mentor. They are not there to raise your children. I don't even remember everything I said, but I remember I just defended her in several interviews. So her team reached out to me when she was launching her album, that they would love for me to be there. And I was like, when I got the invitation, I was like, oh, finally a chance for me to, interact with this girl. And I remember every time Ebony and I were supposed to meet up, like something would happen, And I mean, I got the invitation that day. I had my dress ready to go, and I didn't go. There was no reason why I shouldn't have been there. I just was like, oh, I'll meet her another time. That's what I always see. I'm like, she knows I love her, And she had heard, she had sent messages to people, thanks for the support. And I was like, if I don't go for this one, I'll go for another one. I'll definitely meet her. So, like, what's the problem? So, 25th December, she performed at December to Remember. And if you know me, for the past how many years, every December to Remember, I am here. Even last year, came straight from Morocco, went straight to the event, and she performed. And I remember just looking at her, and she was standing on stage, and she could see me, and I was like hyping her. I'm like, that's my girl. And at that point, I had had a discussion with someone, and I said that people are always going off on this girl because of how she dresses. I'm like, it's not how she dresses, it's the way she dresses is fine, but I would love to be part of, play a big sister role. So I sent her a private message that, listen, there was this makeup company I was working with, and I wanted to, I had spoken to them to give her free, makeup services. So I sent her the DM, and I don't know, she didn't see it, but then she came to comment on my picture. That was before the event. So I was like, this girl cry, you send a DM, she doesn't see, but you should come and comment on your picture. So I remember just watching her, and it just looked like, for me, for the last for the last 2 months of her life, I saw a transformation. She had become more confident in who she was. She's always been a confident person, but you could just see that, like, she was like, this is me. And I remember just watching her and just being so excited. So we went to Rockstone's office. And when I got there, she was performing, and we saw each other. I was like, okay, you know what, finally, me and this girl, we're going to have a conversation. No, before that was girl talk. I remember calling Abe, and I was like, is Ebony performing? Because I'm coming to see Ebony. And he was like, yeah, of course, she's going to be there, you know. So dressed up, you know, went there. I was like, oh, what's up? Where my girl Day? Like, oh, she couldn't be here because she was not feeling well. And then it became a joke. I'm like, it's like me and this girl. Every time we are supposed to meet up and talk, something happens and then we don't see each other. Like, it's always some weird something happens. So I was like, maybe we are not destined to meet up. So when I saw December to Remember, and then after that we went to Rockstone's office, I was like, you know what, I'm just finally going to say hello, because it's like we can't be like social media friends and I support you and you always send messages. Like, we're in the same industry, you know. And I realized most of it was my fault, because like every time, like, I always would say that I can always talk to her another time, you know, because we always think that we have time. We always feel like the person is not going anywhere, so you always think that you have time, but you don't. So the last time I saw her was at Rockstone's office, and it was just a mini set, you know, people were performing, and then she went into the back room, and I saw Uchi, and I was like, yo, where my girl Day? And it's like, oh, she's just right here. So I walked up there, and when I got there, she was not there. It's like she had disappeared. I remember in that moment, and I've never shared this with anybody, I remember in that moment, I walk upstairs to my friend Sheila, and she's probably watching this, because for my grandmother's, I've not got to that part of the story. I was telling her that, yo, be like this girl, me and her are not supposed to meet, too, because it's like always something comes up, like always. So we went for my grandmother's funeral. When we're coming back, we decided to play Ebony's songs throughout the entire journey. And we had mapped up a plan of how we're going to make sure she wins Artist of the Year. In fact, more than anybody, Sheila is the one who was like, if Ebony does not win Artist of the Year, what I'll do, And Sheila, like, she's like, we're going to campaign over it, and we're doing all of the mathematics, and we're like, no, but this one, they have to give it to her. Or would they say she's too young? But no, but Charlie, the girl has hits. We're just going on and on and on. And my brother was just sitting there so fascinated. He said, you have to download all her songs for me, because the way you guys are talking about her, it was my friend Sheila and my friend Fanny, was also really crazy about the girl. So when we came down, just about 2 weeks later, I'd gone to, in true Lydia Forson fashion, I'd gone to say something, and the whole country was, of course, coming after me, insulting me, the usual. I remember standing in my hall, and I was like, this too shall pass. By next week, we'll be asking for Beba, and then they'll forget about me. And that evening, as I went to bed, I was a bit down. I was like, why is that? Sometimes I try and say stuff with no bad intention, and then people take it the wrong way. Like, why are people always constantly coming after me? And I felt like a voice just told me, you know what? When you ask for greatness, you have to ask what it comes with, because you can't be great and not expect people to, not talk about you. So I went to bed that night, and I was just tossing and turning. I felt like there was just something wrong. And so I woke up around 2 a.m. and I went on my on Facebook, and I saw someone write Ebony. I was like, hey, maybe then once Uncle Yebu, these people will not leave this girl for me. But I didn't. The person just wrote Ebony. The person didn't say anything. So I was on Facebook for about another hour, and then someone else wrote, Ebony, this cannot be true. immediately my heart sank, because I had gone to bed feeling that there was something wrong. And I've never shared this story. Only my friends know. So I was like, Charlie, there's something wrong. There's something really, really wrong. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. I really hope it's not what I'm thinking, because I'd lost my grandmother and her sisters all in 1 month. I don't deal with death well at all. So I was like, no, this Ghana phone, so I waited till like 5 o'clock, and the messages were all over the place, and I was just sitting here in my room alone, and I just started crying. And I called the only two people who I felt will understand, like, the connection, in life. And a lot of you people feel connected to me. Some of you have not met. You love me, you support me, you pray for me without meeting me, because sometimes what artists do is they connect to you on a level that you will not understand. And even though I'm an entertainer myself, I felt that connected to her, because she was living her life. She loved life. Sometimes I was like, the way people can insult this girl, how is she doing? Is she okay? But she always seemed so lively and happy. And we had so many mutual friends, like really good friends. But I was always like, you know what? Like, it's like I didn't know her. I don't need to stress. I'll always talk to her whenever. She knows I love her. And then she was gone. And I remember the next day, I was filled with so much fear and uncertainty and just so much unhappiness, because I'm like, what did this girl ever do to deserve this? She never hurt anybody. She just lived her life. She was just a happy person. I was so broken down. I remember the first person I called after speaking to my friends was Debbie. I had told her that, Charlie, I can't sleep. And she was like, myself, I can't sleep. Like, we were all just so unhappy. And so, because what you guys don't understand is, when we lose one of us, whether you know the person or not, you feel it. Because you know their story in a way that other people don't know. You know the pain. You know the nights they have to sit down and listen to people say all kinds of stuff about them. You know the uncertainty. You feel like you have lost your sister, and she was. So I told her, Charlie, I can't be in the country. So I called my mom and my dad. My dad, God blessed him. My dad said, do you know how many times the Bible says, fear not? He said 365 times. I've forgotten. He said, fear not, my daughter. You are fine. So I think that day, the day she died, I got on a flight and I got out of the country, because I just knew that I needed to get out. If you notice, I didn't go for the funeral. I didn't go for any of the services. I really just could not bring myself to emotionally be there. And it was hard to read all the things that people said about her. But more than anything, what disgusted me the most was how people attributed her death to her lifestyle. Ebony didn't die because she was a bad girl. She died because we have bad roads. If anything, her life should inspire us to live. Because you're going to be doing all the perfect things till you're 70 years old. And you will die old, but what would the world know about you? What impact would you have left or made on this earth? She lived, she loved in a way that some of you will never understand or even, appreciate, but she did. And she was gone in one day. It's hard. It's really hard. And just the stories after were even harder. But let her death inspire you guys. Not keep you. Her death shouldn't scare you. It should inspire you to live. Because in this life, yes, she died through an accident. But you could be walking across the street and a car will hit you too. You could eat and you have a reaction and die. Anybody can die any day. That's the reality of death. It's not bad people that die. Good people die too. So if you're going to use her death to convince yourself that, you know, she died because she's a bad person, then you've got it all wrong. Because good people too die. And maybe she just came to do, maybe, just maybe, her only purpose on this earth was to inspire you to appreciate the life that you have, to inspire you to love life and live it, to dance if you want to love who you love. On her anniversary, I just want us to just really reminisce on the person that she was. It's still hard. And be inspired by her life. And Frankie too. I mean, a lot of times when celebrities die and their friends die along with them, there's an assumption that people deliberately, you know, forget the friend. No, it has nothing to do with that. Ebony was the celebrity. Frankie's friends still remember her and they still mourn her. She probably just didn't get as much attention because she was not a star, not because she was less than. But may their lives inspire us to go out there and live and do good. And understand that we have very limited time on this earth. May death inspire us not to wait for people to die before we appreciate them. My only regret is I lived like Ebony will be here for the rest of her life. So every time I had an opportunity to talk to her, I'll go like next week, tomorrow, I'll call her the day after, and then she's gone. But don't let her death be in vain. Appreciate the music and the message she left behind. Live, guys. Live. Live your life. Because and life will go on. The people who have all this nasty stuff to say about you will find good to say about you too when you die. She's probably sitting somewhere smiling that, listen, I came, I saw, and I conquered. You bitter people that you had all these things to say, you know, what impact have you made in your life? Nothing. And when you die, nobody will remember you. So on anniversary, I just really hope that we reflect on the life that she lived. Yeah, it's a hard day. I pray for her family, her friends, and everybody who was touched by her life. You know, I said just December that I was sitting in Morocco and I had people from 5 different countries all talking about Ebony. I was like, wow, my girl did touch people. And it was just amazing to listen to. Sorry guys, my thoughts are all over the place. I'm a little sad, but I want you to just focus on the good today. And be inspired by the beautiful life that she lived. Beautiful, beautiful soul. Beautiful human being. And I do hope that her legacy continues to live on through our hearts, in our music, and even in the way that we live. R.I.P. Ebony and R.I.P. Frankie. I do believe that the two of you are having a blast and laughing wherever you are and saying, look at these people. We came home, we enjoyed, we loved. Yeah. Listen to her music today. Bye.
Problem, so my problem, no nonsense. If they make sense, what they make sense.